Can you guys hear me okay? What's going on, everybody? This is Caddy with Money Vesting. I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me fine. So, is the audio much better than yesterday? Because I know there was a lot of echo issues. And I just want to make sure that there's no echo anymore, because I went back and saw my video from last night and it was really a lot of echo. Okay. And is there any echo, or is it coming out well? Perfect. Yeah, because I got a new mic yesterday, so sorry about yesterday because it was pretty bad. I can understand. So I figured I'd do a live stream right now, just go over the markets, talk a little bit about, of course, everything that's going on with Gamestop and AMC. There's been a lot of volatility, and talk about, of course, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. We're going to talk about the S&P 500, talk a little bit about some of the other news. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are excited. So make sure that you hit that like button. Right now we have about 38 likes. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel if you're not already. So right now, AMC is the only one that's up over 21%. Let me bring up this chart really quickly. And we are starting to sort of form this higher highs and higher lows. We are trading inside this this channel. And this right here was going to be the higher high, right? So this is pre-market. So let's go over to the 5-minute chart really quickly. This is where the market's opened. So you'll notice that as soon as we opened, we tagged this resistance at $18. So the high for this candle is $18 right on the dot. So, that would be the level to watch remainder of the way. So right now we came all the way back down to the higher lows. And if you go over to the 30-minute time frame, we are still trading inside this sort of uptrending channel. And this is a horizontal sort of support that we had mentioned in my previous video. So we'll see if that level holds. Right now it's sitting at $16.07. So that would be the level to watch. And if AMC continues to trade above that level, then we could see more sort of push higher for AMC. So let me pull up another article that I was reading today that actually came out that actually goes over why GameStop stock could rise much higher, right? So the US stocks with highest short interest, GameStop is number one right now, 139%, and this is as of January 27th. So it's kind of hard for us to judge how much short interest is still there, but this is according to S3 Partners. This is something that we covered in one of my previous videos. So just about $10.6 billion worth of short interest. So of course, this is, what's called a short squeeze. There's also a gamma squeeze that happens because of options contracts. And reading further, you'll notice that with GameStop, every time a short sellers exits the market and buys shares, new short sellers are coming in to replace them. So they're basically getting replaced by new short sellers and new hedge funds and investors that want to short the stock, which of course, if you're going long, we want to potentially see that short squeeze in the future. Now, according to S3 Partners, that basically have this predictive analytics software that are tracking the short interest, they basically says that tells me what's moving the market is the long buyers, meaning that more retail investors, more long buyers are coming into the market to actually move. And this is not a short covering rally, meaning that there could be a significant surge if the shorts started to cover. Because think about Citron Research, right? They shorted the stock at 40 and they covered at $90 per share. Now, if somebody's willing to short GameStop at 40, there's going to be a lot of people willing to short GameStop at 320 or 400, because these are just astronomical levels for GameStop and AMC, right? So you'll notice that if it was, I would see the shares shorted dropping precipitously. And for this kind of price move, I would have to see short interest being wiped out, meaning there shouldn't be any short interest left for GameStop. One way I can see short interest is not being wiped out is because of the stock borrow rate is getting higher. So that's another thing that we covered in one of my previous videos that I put out, is going to be the short borrow rate, right? And that's a stock loan that you pay to your broker. So all these short sellers, what they're doing is they're basically buying so they're basically borrowing shares to sell short in the markets, right? So they're selling high in hopes of buying low later. That's short selling, right? You're selling high first and then you're buying low later. But what happens is with short selling, when you're getting squeezed out, is that you're selling high and then you're buying even higher. So that's what happened with certain research, and that's what created a squeeze. But right now with these borrow rates, so if you go to your broker and you start borrowing more shares of GameStop to short them, are still very high. Right now we're seeing 20-25% interest that the broker is charging in lending you shares for GameStop. Usually that stock loan or that borrow fee should be in single digits. It should be around 7-8% or even less than that. It should be less than 1% depending on how much supply there is for those shares. So the fact that we are seeing 25, 30, 40, in some cases even 50% for stock loans for borrow fees, that just goes to show that the short interest is still high for GameStop and AMC. So one way I can see short interest not being wiped out is because the stock borrow rate is getting higher. That means shorts are not getting out on a net basis. So that was one of the articles that I wanted to kind of bring up. And right now you'll notice that AMC is still kind of validating that $16 support. We're pushing higher, up over 24%. Let's check out where GameStop is. So this right here is going to be GameStop. We are kind of struggling. We're down just about 3%, but a lot of volatility. We're still somewhat validating this ascending support inside that symmetrical triangle. We'll see that level continues to hold, but you'll notice that pre-market, similar to AMC, we opened much higher, right? So we gapped up and we traded all the way as high as $383 per share. So if I, this right here again is going to be the 5-minute chart. You guys will notice at 4 in the morning, 4 a.m., 4:10, we kind of gapped up all the way here and then started selling off, kind of giving up on those gains. So let me know what your guys' price targets are for AMC, GameStop. I would love to hear from you guys. And let's see. So we got 217 people and 78 likes. So that's good. That's good. Thank you so much for the support. And, definitely it means a lot to me. And I will actually turn on the the monetization and the donation in a few weeks. Right now it's turned off, but I will do that later in the week. And again, this video is not just for GameStop and AMC. Let me know if there's any stocks that you'd like me to look into for you. But this right here is going to be Amazon, right? So Amazon up over 1% pre-market, definitely pushing higher. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, let's just go over to the chart. So Amazon definitely pushing higher. That 3250 is going to be the level to watch. So that's going to be the red line you guys see on the chart. 3250, again, previous support right here. We kind of bounced off of that level. We bounced off of that support here before breaking down. And right now it's kind of struggling at that 3250 level. They do report earnings tomorrow after hours. So tomorrow after the markets close. EPS somewhere between over $7 to $8 per share. And then definitely the revenue up over 120 billion. That's the expectation. And I personally do believe that, their AWS growth is going to be tremendous. And of course, a lot of their advertising business is also going to grow moving forward, because we read a report, we did a lot of research, and we found that the ad spends are moving away from Google. So, you see ads on YouTube, you see ads on Facebook, they're moving it away from those sort of social media platforms over to Amazon's website, right? That's where they're going to start advertising. So that growth for AWS and advertising business. And then we also saw the Prime was huge for Amazon, which was substantial growth. Over 50%, almost 50% of the US population domestically now is a Prime member. So it basically, and they're subscribing to the annual membership as opposed to the monthly membership. So that just goes to show how much influence Amazon has on the shopping and the e-commerce space moving forward right now. So we just about have 6 minutes left until the markets open. I hope you guys are excited. Drop that like button if you guys enjoy this video and find it helpful. Good morning to everyone. If you're just joining in, we are covering GameStop, AMC. We're also covering a lot of other stocks like Palantir, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. I will be going over the S&P 500, the NASDAQ. Again, thank you so much for joining in. Thanks for the support. Smash that like button if you guys enjoyed this video and find this helpful. So Let's look at AMD. AMD should be gapping up. It's up over 1.5%, but this right here again is going to be the resistance from my previous videos at $88, right? We need to close above $88 in order for us to regain control, regain sort of like the bullish momentum for AMD. And if it can basically break out of its 50 EMA, so it's going to be the yellow line and this resistance level, then we can potentially start trading inside this yellow rectangle, right? So this right here is going to be the range within which Advanced Micro Devices have been trading for a very long time. Something that we covered in my previous videos was that AMD reported phenomenal earnings, right? Great earnings. Their EESC business, or their server and cloud business, growing at triple-digit rate, 176%, growing substantially, right? So all of this move, majority of this move is being driven by the overall market conditions, the volatility that we're seeing, and a lot of it is also being driven by fear, right? What's going to happen? There's no certainty for the markets right now. So that in my opinion definitely represents a great buying opportunity, because we are down roughly over 14% if I'm not mistaken from all-time highs. So the all-time highs for AMD are sitting at well over $99 per share, and we are down close to 13.5, almost 14%. So $88 would be the level to watch today, right? If you can break out and AMD can close successfully over $88, then it can open doors for us to break out even more, retest potentially new all-time highs once again. Lisa Su also said that they're working with the supply chains, the assembly lines, to make sure that their demand is met, right? That's a really good problem to have. If your demand is exceeding your supply, I would much rather have that problem than having no demand for your products or services at all, right? So that's going to be very, very important for AMD moving forward. So we just have about 4 minutes left till the market's open. I'm going to pull up GME top left. So this is going to be GameStop right here. I'm going to go over to the 5-minute chart just so you guys can see that. And I will go ahead and this right here is going to be AMC. So AMC pushing higher, up over 30% almost on pre-market now. We broke out, or we're still validating that support at $16, right? So that's the level to hold for a lot of sort of demand and bullish sentiment for AMC. Right now we are definitely pushing higher, retesting highs of $17 per share. The next resistance to watch is going to be at $18, right? So that's going to be the level to watch. Apple is going to be down right. So this is going to be Apple up over 1.37% right now. And this right here is going to be Amazon. I'm going to bring up Microsoft and some of the other stocks, Palantir, and some other stocks as well. So this right here is going to be IPOE. I don't currently have any positions. Again, this is not financial or investment advice, guys. Please always make sure that you do proper research. Anything I say is for entertainment purposes only. I'm sharing my opinions. Full disclaimer, I don't have any positions right now in AMC or GME. I strictly wanted to analyze these because I know there's a lot of interest and a lot of you guys are interested in kind of looking at the technicals and kind of understanding the support and resistance levels and where could potentially be the next stop for these stocks. We just have about 2 minutes left for the markets open. Let's see if we can get up to 200 likes before the markets open, right? So we got about 2 minutes. Let's see if we can get over 200 likes. Right now we're at 139, and it's only going to be about 60 likes left in 2 minutes. So let's see if we can do that. So so Apple 1.37%. Let me see if I can find. And by the way, this right here was a video posted by Jordan Belfort. Also, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Instagram as well. But he essentially posted. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Robinhooders, day traders, got a gift for you. An awesome gift at that. It's my way of showing you that I'm behind you 1,000%. You have my support, love, encouragement, and you need it right now because it's time to stay strong and hold the freaking line.
Hold the line.
In the next 12 to 18 hours, maybe sooner, I'm going to be releasing a video that is my gift to all of you guys who pulled off what I consider to be impossible. You squeeze the hedge funds. I spent a whole career battling against short sellers. Could never beat them. I almost did a few times, but you guys did it. Those of you who worked for me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know about the veg wars against the short.
So that right there was a message. I don't know what he's going to release. He said he was going to release something soon. So we're going to find out. But definitely very, very excited for this live stream. We're at 200 likes. Perfect. You guys are awesome. That's great. Thank you so much. And the markets are going to be open in 30 seconds. So very, very excited. We're going to find out how AMC and GameStop actually do. Let's just switch over to the 1 minute chart so we get the very, very real-time data. and the trading activity for these stocks. AMC definitely pushing higher on the 5-minute. Let's switch over to the 1-minute chart. Again, this right here is going to be the 1-minute candle. $16 for AMC. $16 needs to hold, and we need to break out of over 17. So the markets are open now. Let's see where we're trading. GameStop did gap up a little bit, so we are down. This needs to update. So we are pushing higher tremendously. AMC right now just pulling back. A lot of volatility, you guys. So the volume right now already at 68 million shares for AMC. So tremendous amount of volume, and we are going to see a lot of volatility as well. GameStop at 2.88 million volume already. So I'm just going to do a split screen between the two. Ooh, a strong drop for GameStop, trading all the way down about 9% right now. They both are. But they are getting quickly bought up. Potentially, we'll see. So GameStop trying to fight that support. We're pushing higher a little bit. There's a lot of volatility, you guys. There's a lot of volatility. I also want to bring up, I'll try to see if I can bring up, you know, how much, where I'm at. So GameStop definitely pushing higher. Again, I wanted to give you guys a quick update. So this right here is going to be my portfolio right now. I am up a little bit over 1,200 on the day, just about 1%. But again, full disclaimer, I'm not invested in GME or AMC. I'm just trying to analyze these stocks for you guys. AMC is pulling back a little bit. But most of the stocks that I have, you guys already know, we do our daily market brief on a lot of the stocks that we cover on the channel. So 10 of them are most certainly it. So, you know, we cover Tesla, we cover Facebook, we cover Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, some of those stocks as well. So those are going to be the ones that I'm basically invested in personally, right? Again, this is not financial investment advice, but this right here is just for entertainment purposes. I'm sharing my opinion. So right now we're kind of fighting that weave up. So you guys will notice that the 50 EMA and that middle VWAP on AMC. So it needs to break out of 1635. That's going to be the level to break out of for us. So I'll see if I can copy the VWAPs over to GameStop. So that's going to be that thing. Should I buy a little bit of AMC today? Should I buy a little bit of AMC on my value fund? So actually, I'm going to start different positions on, like I'm going to be starting out different portfolios moving forward, right? So I'm going to be, that platform is Fidelity, Anthony, and I will be sort of starting out a value fund, a growth fund, dividends portfolio. So I will be doing that as well. But if you guys want, I can throw a little bit at AMC right now. I'll see how that goes. You know, right now we are, so we are pulling back a little bit. So we'll see if we can break out of over $16. And right now, GameStop, again, kind of validating that support, right? It needs to break out of over $300 per share. So that's going to be the middle VWAP resistance there that we need to break out of. Again, we're struggling. You guys can see that, right? We're struggling right at that level. So that's going to be sort of like that resistance that we need to break out of, right? We're kind of tapping out at 1634 here. We're tapping out at 1627 here. And same with GameStop. So it's not like a more persistent weakness. It's not a very severe sell-off. The bulls and the buyers are kind of validating that support. So there you go. The alert went off. We are breaking out of 1634. There we go. So we need to break and we need to hold that level. We don't need to have a fake out, right? We don't need to have a fake out candle. So that right there is going to be a huge wick. A lot of people get trapped in that breakout. So what you want to see is you want to see a successful close above that level. So we just have 12 seconds left for this candle to close. We're pushing higher, up just about 24% on the day. AMC is, and then GameStop is also trying to break out, right? So there we go. Also, the alert went off on GME. So we'll see if those levels hold, right? If these levels continue for AMC and GME to continue to push higher. The next resistance is going to be the high of day for AMC, which is going to be at 1725, right? So 1725 is going to be the next one. For GameStop, it's also pushing higher. A lot of buyer momentum coming in. So AMC definitely pushing higher after the middle VWAP breakout. So this right here should now start acting as a what? Tell me what this level should now start acting as. The middle VWAP and this yellow rectangle. It should be what for AMC moving forward? We need to do what for AMC to stay above that level? Exactly, correct. So that level needs to start acting as a new support for AMC. So we're going to turn that into green. And now AMC needs to break out of its all-time high of day, which is going to be sitting at 1725. We'll see if there's enough sort of buyer momentum. The bids are sitting 16. So when the bids are starting to push higher, so that's going to be the blue price you guys see, 1687, 1692. When the bids are over the current market price, that's when you know there's a lot of bullish sentiment. There's a lot of buying pressure take place for that stock. So let's go over to my main watch list. Let's see where the markets are at. So NASDAQ up over 1.5%, almost 1.5%. The S&P 500 is also up over 1%. GameStop also needs to break out of over 320. That's going to be the high for day. So you'll notice how the high for day right here, $320 right on the dot. So there you go. After the successful breakout, we're now pushing higher even more. Next resistance we need to break out of is going to be 1725, right? That's the level that we need to break out of for AMC. For GameStop, that level is going to be at 320. There you go. It's already pushing higher. GameStop almost tapped 320. What's the high for this candle? 318. There you go. GME breaking out once again. Almost going positive on the day. We're down just about 1.5%. And AMC is still kind of struggling. Again, this is the support we need to hold for AMC. We're coming down after a huge breakout. If that old resistance is broken out, it needs to start acting as a new support. So we'll see if that middle VWAP holds, if that 50 EMA holds. That are both sitting at 1637, 1638. So the S&P 500, let me pull it up on a different chart. Or actually, let me go over to this. So keep a close eye. This right here, again, top left is going to be GME. 320 is going to be, the 322 is going to be the next resistance because we are kind of fighting that level. And then for AMC, that level is going to be sitting at, AMC is going to be bottom left. So this right here is going to be AMC. And let's pull up SPX. That's going to be the S&P 500. So a lot of resistance at 3750, right? So we're kind of fighting that level. Again, this is the 1 minute candle. You'll notice boom, boom, boom. We're just retesting that resistance. And we are pulling back. So again, I would not be surprised if we do see a retest down to this 3720, 3730 area. So that blue, the 200 SMA. And if you were to go over to the 4-hour chart, so this is what's happening, right? So old support at 37.54 now is potentially starting to act as a new resistance because we broke it down. We're back testing that. The high for today is 37.55. Again, 37.55 old support now acting as a new resistance. Are we going to break out over that? Are we going to break out over our 9 EMA? That's the question. So AMC back testing that old resistance as a new support right now. So you'll notice that we are down. We'll see if that level holds. 1635 to 37, that green rectangle. If not, then we could potentially be headed to making low of days, right? The low for the day right now is 1559. IPOE had a massive breakout. Let me see. Oh wow, 66%. Definitely pushing higher. So definitely validated support here. It was down quite a bit. I'm not sure if IPOE was also one of the ones that was shorted, but it's up over 50% since like January 27th. So definitely a lot of momentum so there you go. So AMC right here validating that support, right? So that's what we talked about. We broke out, back tested that old resistance as a new support, the middle VWAP. We had a green candle and we're on our way back once again. So we'll see if that level continues to hold. This right here is going to be GME. Right now we're pushing higher. Again, getting rejected at 322. So let me pull up AMD. Down quite a bit. Again, that $88 is going to be the level. Right now the high for that day is $87, right? So we'll see if that level continues to hold as a resistance or if AMD is able to break out of that level. NASDAQ is up just about 1.3%, you guys. S&P 500 up just about 1%. If you guys are joining in right now, welcome, welcome. My name is Caddy, and we're going to be talking about AMC. We're going to be talking about GME. So this right here up left is going to be GameStop stock, 1-minute candle. And this right here is going to be AMC. So the two levels that we're watching right now, the first one is going to be $320 for GameStop. That's the resistance that it needs to break out of. We have been essentially getting rejected at that level. So that's also the high for the day. That's also the high for the day. And this is a very strong resistance for GameStop. For AMC, we're going to be watching 1725 as the next resistance. And the support it needs to hold above is going to be this green rectangle, right? Previous resistance, we broke out of the middle VWAP, and right now we are validating. At least we're trying to stay above that level, right? We're trying to validate that support. Whether we're going to hold above that level, we're going to find out. And this right here are going to be two indices or stocks that I am going to analyze, on a regular basis. So let's see where we're at. So Amazon up over 1.8%. It actually broke out of 3250. So that was the resistance we were watching for Amazon. Apple up over almost 90 basis points, almost 1%. Microsoft up almost 1%. Nvidia also pushing higher. Square is down in the red. Facebook is down in the red. Palantir definitely pulling back quite a bit. It's down about 2%. S&P 500 still trying to stay above its 50 exponential moving average. So that's going to be the 50 EMA. You guys see in yellow, right? So we tagged that level, and right now we are trying to push higher. But the important thing is going to be this green line. So that's the green line because that's the higher lows for S&P. So we have been bouncing off of that level, right? That's going to be this. So every time we have pushed up, we have come down to retest that higher low or that ascending support. We pushed up, back tested that, pushed up, back test, pushed up, back test, pushed up, back test. And this right here was the first time we actually broke down. So this could either be one of two things. This could either, we could reverse, we could have a dead cat bounce, push higher, continue on this uptrend right here, or we're just going back up to retest that old support as a new resistance and then crack down even more below that 50 EMA, right? So we're going to find out. So this is, again, AMC breaking down off that middle VWAP. So let me just pull that up. So you'll notice how we were kind of fighting that level. We were struggling to stay above that level. We were staying above the middle VWAP, and then this huge bearish candle, right, broke us down below that support. Let's see where Gamestop is at. We're also broken down below the middle VWAP, and we're down just about 7% on the day for that. Wow, IPOE really taking off. So IPOE now up over 10% on the day. I wonder what the catalyst is. Let me see if I can find something. Oh, that could be one of the reasons. So so that could be one of the reasons why IPOE is taking off. So I'll put it over here. So that basically says that Robinhood has limited trading in GameStop and several other heavily shorted stocks that have recently exploded thanks to the campaign led by Reddit community Wall Street Bets. I'm not sure if Robinhood is still allowing people to actually buy these stocks right now. Are they still restricted? Let me know in the live chat. I'm not sure if they're still restricted right now or if they're allowing people to actually buy these stocks right now. But of course, you know, with this restriction, the trading curve has also impacted cryptocurrency trading, which has frustrated many Robinhood users. Investors are jostling for IPOE SPAC stock on the expectation that frustrated Robinhood traders will ditch the platform and choose its rivals like SoFi. So that's one of the reasons why we are seeing a significant push higher. So one share is definitely very, very frustrating. I'm really not sure why they're doing that. It's either one of two things. The first one is obviously whether they have all these clearinghouse, Apex clearing requirements that need a specific amount of deposits and cash on hand in order for everyone to buy it. So we're pulling back a little bit. We're pulling back for the entire market. So NASDAQ now only up 1%. The S&P is up only 72 basis points. Fubo is up over 9%. Wow, okay. Fubo is also one of the stocks that was more shorted, right? If I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can find that. So, let's see. Up 11%. Jesus. Yeah, that's what I think. So it's a clearinghouse issue for Robinhood. So, you know, it could be because of the Apex clearinghouse having minimum requirements for deposits. Because Robinhood, you also have to understand that they're not as big as TD Ameritrade or Fidelity when it comes to assets under management, right? So, you know, they may not have immediate cash available to actually allow people to buy. With Fidelity, the one that I have, you know, I didn't have any issues buying or selling any stocks for that matter, right? None of them were restricted for us. Ooh, Apple with a massive drop. Down over almost 40 basis points. Trading as low as 131.50 as of the time of this video. So AMC is still kind of validating that support on the day. Just going to be right here, as low as like 1585, 1559 almost, 1560. Apple with a huge drop. You're right. Let's look at Amazon. Amazon has the earnings coming up. 3250 is going to be the level to watch. 3250 for Amazon. For Gamestop, it's going to be 320. Well, first of all, we need to break out of this middle VWAP section here and the 50 EMA. So that is a level that's kind of keeping us down, right? That's the resistance to watch for Gamestop. For AMC, again, that's going to be this level. So yeah, AMD and Apple are both down, right? Let's check out AMD. Definitely, it's down about 30 basis points. So let's look at AMD where it's trading on the 4-hour basis. So yeah, definitely, I mean, getting rejected at that $88 resistance, right? So that's the resistance that we talked about. And the next support we're watching is going to be $81. If it comes down to $81 or even as low as the $73, $74 per share, those are going to be some really, really important levels for AMD. I mean, like I mentioned in my previous videos, the closer you can average out here for advanced micro devices, the better this deal is going to look like, because AMD, for one, not only in my opinion, it's undervalued because they're generating just as much revenue as NVIDIA and they're trading at 10 times sales versus NVIDIA is trading at 22 times sales. So it represents a lot of upside. Plus all these analyst expectations, the median price target is at 107. So that's going to be this level right here. That's the median analyst price target, as high as $107 per share, represents just about 25% upside. Even the higher estimate, the highest estimate for AMD is going to be 135, right? That's going to be sitting right here, represents 58% upside, right? Significant upside potential for this company. And if you do see a retest of the 200 simple moving average, again, that's going to be the blue line on the daily chart, even as low as this $81 per share, which has, again, previously acted as some type of a support, I would personally consider, buying shares at this level. So that's going to be a drop of 4%, even as low as 10, 11%, which I personally do not see AMD retesting 74. But, again, that's going to be a great deal if you do see a retest down to that level. So AMC definitely breaking down, and so is GameStop, also pulling back down about 12%. So, and this is Apple. I mean, definitely breaking down. So let's go over to our Apple chart. And also, I would love to know where you guys are from. So let me know where you guys are from, where you guys are tuning in, the city or the country, wherever you are. I would love to hear from you guys. I'm currently in Boston, Massachusetts, but I will take all of your guys' requests. I'm very, very excited for you guys joining in. So definitely thank you so much for tuning in. And I cannot appreciate you guys enough. So I definitely love the support and everything that you guys are doing for the channel, right? This would not be possible without you guys. So thank you so much. And I'll definitely take all of you guys' requests, right? I'll cover Square, I'll cover Apple, I'll cover Amazon, Microsoft, Palantir, Neo, Tesla. I'll cover all of those. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I'm going to take a video of this live chat. If you guys want to type really quickly about where you guys are from, that would be awesome. That's great. So Apple, yeah, definitely, getting rejected and selling off. This is the next buy point for people who are wondering. This right here is going to be the ascending support or the higher low for Apple stock. If you do see a retest of our 50 EMA. So that's going to be the line. So the 50 EMA and the green line you guys see, very aligned together, right? So the probability of Apple retesting this support and then pushing higher is very, very high because we are down quite a bit. We're down almost 10% for Apple stock from our all-time highs. So that right there is going to be the level to watch, right? So the first support is going to be sitting right here, roughly at 129. That would be the support to watch for Apple moving forward, all the way as low as $127, which in my opinion, 127 would be a very, very strong level of demand for Apple stock moving forward. So GameStop and AMC are definitely pulling back quite a bit. GameStop down just about 19%. We'll see if this next support level holds at 251. That is the next support for GameStop moving forward. And let's go over to Tesla really quickly. So Tesla back almost at $7.99. I think it gapped up, right? So yes, so the high for the day was $825 per share, but we are back down below 800. We're like exactly at that level. So this again is going to be very, very critical for Tesla moving forward, right? Something that we have discussed in my previous videos at $800 per share. Definitely very, very important. So yes, Apple's selling bonds. That's, I think I read that somewhere, or I did hear that somewhere. That could be one of the reasons why they are down. But Tesla, I mean, if that $800 level holds up, it's going to be very, very important, right? Then we'll go ahead and turn that level into a support once again. But yesterday, or on Friday last week, we came all the way down to as low as 780. So we almost sort of retested the 775 support before pushing higher and gapping up. And right now we're trying to stay above 800, right? The low for the day is 796. We'll see if Tesla continues to hold 800. If not, these are going to be two support levels to watch. 775 is going to be the first one, as low as the 695, $700 range. That's going to be a really, really strong sort of buy point for myself, where I'll be adding more shares more aggressively for Tesla if you do see a retest of $695, $700 per share. So let's check out the markets where we're trading right now. So let's do that over here so that we have our patterns and charts. So NASDAQ only up about 70 basis points. We're still kind of fighting that ascending support. We'll see if that holds or if we do break down even more. And the SPX still validating that 50 exponential moving average. So the 50 EMA, that's very important. We'll see if that level holds. We're just up just about 55 basis points. Let's see where the VIX is. So the VIX coming down a little bit. We're down just about 1%. So this is one of the things that we covered in my yesterday's live stream. And right now we have about 462 people. So I want to quickly go over that once again. So the volatility on the S&P 500, very, very important metric for us to understand for the overall market conditions, right? If this VIX tops out, the S&P 500 bottoms, right? That's the thing. That's the sort of trend we've seen for a very long time. The only two times in the last 20 years, the volatility has gone up as high as 90, 95. So this right here, the volatility spiked all the way to over 90 levels, has been only twice. The first time was during the Great Recession, 07, 08 housing bubble. So this right here was the second time in March of 2020 during the during the health crisis of 2020. But most of the times it kind of tops at 40, 45 to 50 levels. So you'll notice going back as far as June of 2020. This right here going back as far as September 2020. Again, in October, and this is in January, February. So most of the times it has been kind of topping out at 40, 45. So if you do see another top for the VIX, we could see it continue to kind of sell off, find its support once again at 2024. So that is going to be a drop for the VIX, and we'll see a drop of over 30%. That would mean the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ can then start pushing higher once again. So very, very important to keep a close eye on the volatility on the S&P 500. So GameStop still validating that 250 support. That's the level that we were talking about, and that is going to be the level. So right now, we tabbed 252 and then pushed higher. So again, very, very important level to watch for GameStop moving forward. 252, and right now we are again trading below our middle VWAP, trading below our 50 EMA, trading below some of these moving averages. So it's going to be very sort of difficult or challenging per se for GameStop to actually push higher. Let me see some of the live chat. Tesla, I covered a little bit earlier. So Amazon pushing higher, up over 2% now. Definitely a solid push higher, and in anticipation of earnings. So let's go over to NEO really quickly as well. Let's see what's going on with NEO. NEO down about 1.79%. Yeah, NEO definitely pulling back quite a bit. So down just about 1.78%, you know, still getting rejected at this resistance, $59. So look at the high for the day, $59.12, right? So it tapped that resistance at $59 and we are on our way back down to $54.65. So $54.50, that would be the support level to watch, right? And definitely, because that level, you guys know, right? You guys know it's validated. It's validated. Why? If you guys have been watching my channel, if you guys have been watching my analyses on NEO stock, why is this $54 level validated? So I want you guys to answer if you guys know why that level will be validated for NEO as a support, right? So that's going to be the level to watch as an area of demand at 54.45. So higher low, definitely. Very, very, you're right. Higher low. So that's going to be the higher low, the ascending support inside that uptrending channel, and it's going to be validated from a horizontal support standpoint, right? So that's going to be the level to watch because that has previously acted as a resistance for NEO, right? We got rejected here and we got rejected going back as far as the first week of November, right? So all resistance levels acting as new support. We have validated this as a new support at 54. So definitely a very strong level for NEO here at $54.45. That would be the level I would be watching, and personally would be adding more shares if you do see a retest of that level today, if not remainder of the week. In terms of a resistance, we've got a lot of sort of struggle here breaking out of this level, right? $59 has kind of been keeping us down. Not to say, and this could be, again, because of the market conditions we're in. In an ideal market, if you were to kind of isolate the stock price and not kind of price in the market volatility, you know, we could see a push higher and maybe this gap would be filled. And we could see a retest of new all-time highs at 67. We could retest our higher highs and a previous resistance. But depending on the market volatility last week, we did sell off. And right now, that would be the support to watch. Now, in my opinion, are we going to break it down below this? The chances or the probability is lower, but because we're already down from our all-time highs. Let's see how much we're down. So we are pulled back over 16%, right, from our all-time highs. So $50 would be the next level. So the next support or the strongest level of demand to watch for NEO if you do see a break down, break below $54 per share for NEO stock. So let me see where Square's at. Square also pretty much flat, trading at 215. Still trying to decide if that level is going to act as a support or a resistance. So GameStop holding up that support at 250, 252. AMC is still making low of day. That's a little bit concerning. And then Apple is kind of fighting that 132 level. So let's see where we're at. Let's see where my portfolio is sitting. Let me see if I can connect. So Amazon definitely seeing a lot of push higher, right? So So I actually did buy a little bit more Amazon. So we'll see if actually that pushes up. So just about a little bit over 1%. Most of it is coming from Amazon, and we'll see if Apple actually does push up higher, because that's going to be very important. Apple and Microsoft as well. Gamestop now starting to push higher once again. We'll see if that level continues to hold. AMC is pulling back considerably. You also have to understand that AMC's short interest is not as high as GameStop's stocks short interest, right? So for GameStop, that short interest is well over 100%. Right now, we're still seeing short interest well over 100%. For AMC, is not that much. So if we're going to see a short squeeze, that may push GameStop to, you know, an insane amount of level. But for AMC, that may not be as crazy as we've kind of like hoping for. So Apple definitely getting a rejection at 132. Square still kind of fighting that $215 level. The current short interest for GameStop, I mean, as of January 27th, we were able to find that. I also broke down the article this morning, but let me try and bring that up. So this right here was the article that actually came out today. Right, it came out about 8 hours ago. So yeah, February 1st at 1:30 in the morning. That shows U.S. stocks with the highest share of short interest, right? GameStop was one of them, the first one, 139%. And Bed Bath & Beyond at 67%. You know, we've got Fubo TV, we got SunPower, and AMC right here is at 50%. So again, if we're going to see a short squeeze, it may not be as high as what we're seeing for GameStop, or what we could potentially see for GameStop. So keep that in mind, right? So if for AMC, a short squeeze is only going to be half of the shares of the current float, whereas GME is like more than the current shares flow, which to me is like very questionable. How can you short something that's very limited in supply and you can borrow more than there's supply out there? So NEO pulling back just about $56 right now. Square still kind of hovering over $215. I don't think I've analyzed Nokia yet. Let me see if I can figure something out. But this is a very, very scary looking pattern. You know, went from $4 all the way to testing highs of over $9, up 138%. And now we're back down to like $4 a share. So it's down 52%. So let me see if I can highlight some levels to watch for Nokia. So that is going to be a really strong support for Nokia, right? So 50 EMA acting as a resistance here. So we got rejected by the 50 EMA here. So that's going to be an area of rejection. You know, we're still kind of fighting that level. And this right here was another rejection by the two moving averages that we have on the chart. So keep a close eye at this resistance, because that's going to be the next sort of resistance to watch at 520. If Nokia can break out of 520, then we can see a shift in the trend. We can see a trend reversal where Nokia will start making some type of higher highs and higher lows moving forward, right? So that's going to be the level to watch. AMC most certainly breaking down right now. and Apple is also pulling back. Let's take a look at Fiverr. So I'm using the TradingView platform. Again, if you want to get started, the link should be down in the description below. But Fiverr is most certainly kind of validating that 50 EMA at $210 per share, right? So the low for the day was 209. So that 50 EMA most certainly getting validated. We are down considerably from our all-time highs, down about 26% for Fiverr, right? So 185 is going to be a really strong support level to watch for Fiverr moving forward. Yeah, I'll try to do an analysis on Disney as well, Jason. I'll look into their earnings and I'll break it down from a technical standpoint as well. But to give you a very quick update on Disney, here, let me pull that chart up. But Fiverr 185 would be the level to watch. That's going to be a really strong support. The RSI is kind of beaten down. The MACD line also aggressively selling off below the signal line. So those would be the two levels to watch. We could see some consolidation sideways and then push higher once again. Again, the MACD line needs to cross over the signal line. That's going to be a bullish crossover for the MACD line as well. But let's go over to Disney. So Disney, similar to Square, actually we saw that pattern. It was trading inside this uptrending channel, right? It was making higher highs and higher lows until the earnings came out, or not the earnings. They released that they are substantially growing their Disney Plus and their streaming service, and they are on track to passing Netflix, right? So this was kind of like the trend. So we sold off down to this higher low. We push up to this higher high. We come down a little bit, retest, back test of this higher low. We push up, and then we blew the top off, right? This right here was a blue top blowing off for Disney. We got rejected at $181 per share. That was the resistance to watch. But we also had a gap that we needed to fill. So you'll notice this gap right here that did not fill. We basically just gapped up and then we pushed up even higher. So this right here is just us coming down to fill that gap again, right? So that's going to be on the daily time frame. You'll notice how there was a significant gap right here, right? So we're just coming down to fill that gap. And now that gap is filled, we're validating that 50 EMA. The RSI and the MACD, you'll notice, again, incredibly oversold. The RSI trading as low as 46. The MACD line also kind of beaten down. So a lot of the earnings. So another thing is that a lot of the revenues should be kind of priced in because of the subscription numbers that they told us. So that's very, very important to keep in mind, because most of the times, as we've already seen with a lot of these EV companies, right, they tell us the delivery numbers first. Tesla will give us the delivery numbers and the stock will run up on that. And then after they release their earnings, it's no longer a very significant surprise, right? So similar to that, Disney's streaming numbers, a lot of the business models have already been priced in. So after the earnings, it's kind of a tough call. Are we going to continue and trade inside this uptrending channel? Is Disney going to come back down, retest 154? It's a little bit hard to say, but in my opinion, again, the trend has been of buying the rumor and selling the news. And then after the earnings, we've seen a lot of stocks, even though they've beaten earnings significantly, they've still kind of pulled back and had these drawdowns. So the support level to watch would be 154, 153 for Disney moving forward. That's a very, very important support level for Disney to keep in mind. And then a resistance would be $181 per share. It's a pretty wide range, but that is the level for Disney, unfortunately, because we are pulling back. We are kind of validating that 50 exponential moving average. But if you do break down, then that would be the sort of like the support to watch at 154, 155. But the RSI, again, is very, very oversold. So we could see some consolidation sideways and then a push higher, maybe a retest of new all-time highs later in 2021. So let's see where the markets are at. AMC definitely bouncing off. Apple also rebounding a little bit, validating that support at 130. So if you go over to my chart here for Apple, so we are still trying to stay above that level. 132 trying to act as some type of a support moving forward. We'll see if that continues to hold, because we were trading below that level. So we did break down We were trading as low as 130, and right now we're trying to act or stay above that level, right? 132 again is going to be very critical for Apple stock. Amazon is still moving higher. It's pushing higher to 32.88. So let's see what the next resistance is going to be for Amazon, and how high can we see that grow. So we are again tapping our lower high, right? So you guys will notice that we broke out of 32.50. So this level should now start acting as a new support. If you do see any type of a pullback for Amazon stock, that level would be, in my opinion, the next support to watch. And we are tagging our lower high almost. At 3,300, we would be tagging our lower highs inside that symmetrical triangle. So we do need to see a push higher for Amazon as well. Lemonade pushing higher up over 2.3%. Again, thank you so much, you guys, for joining in. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Can we get over 350 likes? We have over 460 people watching right now. I really do appreciate your guys' support. So please make sure that you smash that like button for the support, so this video gets out from the algorithms out to other people, and it's recommended to other people as well who might be interested in watching. So hold on one second. I'll be right back. Yeah, sorry about that. So for Lemonade, up over 2.5%. Still validating that 140 support. But the interesting thing for Lemonade right now is that we have broken out, right? So this was the ascending support that was validating for a very long time, but we actually broke out of that level. So that could be a little bit of a cause for concern, but we're still kind of trading inside this sort of range. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that ascending support because it's no longer valid. And this right here has been area of consolidation for a very long time for Lemonade. Let's see where everything else is trading. So we are pulling back. AMC is still trying to push higher again, up over 14%. And we are seeing a back test of Gamestop. Again, 252 acting as a new support. So that right there. We're still kind of validating that support here. We'll see if that level continues to hold. But it's down about 20% on the day. So, and this right here, we're getting a rejection for AMC on the middle VWAP. So we'll see if that level gets rejected or if we're going to see a breakout over there. So for Apple, still pushing higher. Now in the green, up just about 33 basis points. We'll see if we can continue and push higher and if that level gets validated for Apple stock. Again, 132 is going to be very, very important. AMD is pulling back. The low for the day is $84.66. So Nokia is also pulling back right now. That would be the support at 460, 465. Is the market correction near? We'll see. I mean, in my opinion, there's not going to be a 15-20% drop for the markets. Like that to me is unlikely, considering the volatility index on the S&P 500, considering a lot of other things related to the interest rates. We also broke down the Federal Reserve report and the committee's commitment to keeping interest rates between 0 and about 0.25%, right? So let me see if I can actually bring that up. So that's going to be under screenshots. So this was the report that we actually broke down on January 27th, right? Or a couple of days ago, that basically says the Federal Reserve is committed to using its full range of tools to support the U.S. economy in a challenging time, thereby promoting its maximum employment and price stability goals. Reading further, you'll notice the path of the economy will depend significantly on the course of the virus, including progress on vaccinations. And the ongoing public health crises continue to weigh on the economic activity, employment, inflation. The committee seeks to achieve maximum employment, which is going to be the unemployment rate, and the inflation at a rate of 2% over the long run. Very, very important, because right now we're staying below the 2% rate, right? That's the inflation for the U.S. economy right now. U.S. markets is below 2%. So they're trying to keep that over 2% or moderately over 2% and at an average of 2% over the long run. So what they're going to be doing is they're going to keep the target rate, the federal funds rate, between 0 and about 0.25%, and they're gonna let it exceed moderately over 2% for the inflation. Because for us to understand the whole market right now, there's two things that's very important for the Federal Reserve. That's the unemployment rate and inflation. If they start to if the inflation rate starts to creep up and unemployment rate starts to go down or go up also a little bit, that's going to be a big problem for the market, right? Because then the Federal Reserve is going to start increasing rates. Bonds are going to start becoming a little bit more attractive than equities, because right now what we're seeing, so GME, did it break below? Wow, what a breakdown. So GME also breaking down below 252. Now it's down about 28%. The volume spiked. It's at 11.7 million shares traded. So a very descending pattern on the day for GameStop. Unfortunately, we are making lower highs and lower lows. So you'll notice that we are consistently sort of making these lower highs, and GameStop also keeps making these lower lows, right? So we're still sort of breaking down of those support levels. Earlier, it was at 251. We pushed up, retested, and then broke it down. And right now we are back testing that old support as a new resistance potentially for GameStop. We'll see where AMC is trading at. So AMC is still kind of holding above, up just about 12%. You're right. Apple is closing above the middle VWAP. You're right. So we could be potentially headed higher even more. Amazon. Amazon still up over 2%. NEO is still struggling at that $56 level. So VWAP, it's VWAP, so it's VWAP. So that's going to be the volume weighted average price indicator for the market for any stocks that we're trying to analyze, right? So if I were to bring out the different analyses, this right here is going to be the VWAP study. And basically what that does is they have these three bands. The upper band is going to be in green, so you can kind of customize that any way you want. They have the upper band, they have the lower band, and they have the middle band. So they basically take the average price and the volume for that stock and kind of combine that into one indicator for us to understand where the momentum is for that specific stock, right? So if it's trading between the middle and bottom VWAP, so if it's trading below the yellow and red line, that's usually a descending pattern, right? That's what we're seeing for GameStop. because it's trading. So that's going to be the red line. Here, let me go ahead and remove that. So it's going to be the yellow line you guys see here in the middle and the red line, right? So it has a descending pattern on the day. So does AMC. But as far as Amazon go, let me bring that up for Amazon. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it here. So for Amazon, you'll notice the complete opposite, right? We're trading in an uptrending channel. We're pushing higher, still making higher highs and higher lows, and trading between the middle and the top VWAP, right? So the yellow line and the green line you guys see on the chart. It's the complete opposite, right? AMC and Gamestop are pretty much trading here, right? In between the middle and the bottom VWAP. Apple definitely making some type of a recovery, but we are seeing a pullback for GameStop and AMC. We'll see if AMC continues to stay in green. Right now we're just about up 9%. And the NASDAQ is back up over 1% on the day. Let's quickly go over Shopify. So Shopify is still struggling at that 1135 level, right? So that's going to be the resistance to watch moving forward, because we are kind of consolidating at that resistance, right? We're kind of struggling to break out of that level. So that, in my opinion, again, is going to be a very critical level to watch for Shopify at 1135. And the only reason is because this pullback or this breakdown was, again, due to the market conditions we're in, a lot of volatility in the market, and we broke it down severely. And right now we are also trading below the 50 exponential moving average, right? So the 50 EMA, which has previously acted as a support here, we bounced off of here as a support, we pushed up, and right now we are breaking down. So there's going to be some support levels most certainly to watch for Shopify. I think there's going to be one sitting exactly at $1,000 a share, or roughly at around 1,011, 1,010. Support here, support here, support here. We kind of validated that level several times before pushing higher. So that would be a very, very strong level to watch as a support. So again, thank you so much for your guys' time. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining in. I'm seeing all the chat over here. And we'll continue to analyze a lot more stocks, and I am working on creating different funds. I will be starting like a value fund, a growth fund, and like a dividends portfolio, like all these different portfolios where I will be adding different types of stocks that are going to be in different sectors. And we will be doing a lot of analyses. It's going to be a lot of written analyses, a lot of technical analysis, fundamental analysis included as well. So I hope you guys will be able to get a lot of value out of this. And we'll do that, very, very consistently. Next week, is going to be a very, very important week for me, or actually this week. This is Monday. So tomorrow I'm actually flying out, and I've got like an 18-hour flight from Boston to Toronto, and then from Toronto to New Delhi. So, and then once I get back, I'm going to have a lot of jet lag, but I'll still keep these live streams and these videos coming for sure. And we're going to expand that even more, right? We're going to include a lot of different research because I will have a lot more time on my hands. So I will be doing a lot of fundamental analysis, again, written analyses, and a lot of technical analysis as well. Shout out to Toronto. Shout out to all of you guys. I saw a lot of great places that you guys posted. Thank you so much for the support. The markets are definitely very, very volatile. So please stay safe out there, depending on what you're trading and what you're investing in. Always understand that there's risk involved, right? No investment out there is going to be risk-free unless you're just sitting in cash. Even then, the dollar is losing value, right? Consistently. And there's been a lot of volatility in the markets, right? So you're losing purchasing power if you're just in cash. So keep that in mind. Always sort of manage your risk accordingly, because there's going to be a lot of sort of I shouldn't say hype, but there's going to be a lot of distractions in the market, right? There's going to be a lot of stocks out there that are just going up like a crazy amount. So always, I encourage people to keep a level head and manage your risk accordingly. So let's see where I'm sitting personally on the day, and then I will end the live stream. So on the day, just up over 1,500 right now, up a little bit over 1%. And again, this right here is going to be the growth fund. And this right here is, going to be the value fund. So again, I'm going to be starting different portfolios. Like this is going to be a value fund that I just started, but I'm going to focus on creating like a dividends portfolio as well, right? So that's going to be a little bit different, and it's going to have more dividend stocks that are reinvested back into the stocks itself, right? Growth fund is going to be a little bit more risk towards the risk, and of course the value fund is going to be a little bit more risk averse. Which is going to be 3 portfolios. Again, I'm going to be sharing a lot of my analyses. So I hope you guys get a lot of value out of it, and you guys enjoy that as well. Right now, Gamestop seems to be halted, and it was halted down. So again, there's a lot of volatility for Gamestop, and usually when stocks do halt going down, there's a much higher chance that they open even lower. And that's also true for the opposite, right? If stocks are halted going up, then they're also more than likely to open at a much higher price. And so that's going to be kind of like the fund idea. And again, my job is to give you guys the most valuable and the most accurate information out there, and do a lot of analyses on a lot of different stocks, right? So that's why I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be creating different funds and a lot of different analyses on different stocks, different sectors. We'll even see if you want to cover cryptos, if there's interest. And then of course there's going to be a lot of buy and sells. But there's not going to be any sells. Like personally, I'm always a net buyer. Like if stocks continue to drop, I'm going to keep like scooping them up at great deals, right? That's kind of like the whole idea behind investing, is that I want to personally just own a lot of shares, a lot of stock that I personally love, right? These companies that I want to be a shareholder in, I want to personally own. That's kind of like the mentality. And then of course, technical analysis is just there to supplement that and figure out where are going to be some optimal entries for these stocks. So GameStop back up, we're down just about 33%. AMC also up just about 3%. So we are giving up some of the gains, but Amazon definitely pushing higher, up over 2.71%, almost 3%. And right now, Apple also pushing higher, up 1%. And to talk about some of the other stocks, so Palantir down just about 6%. Again, this is all going to be covered in my market brief. So tonight, I will post that around 5 to 6 p.m. And it's going to be posted later today. We're going to cover 9 to 10 stocks. So thank you so much for your guys' support. I really do appreciate it. Love you guys all. So make sure that you subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that like button. I really do appreciate that. So thank you so much for joining in, and I hope you guys have a great week ahead, and I'll see you guys in the next video.